most sports, athletes saw a natural transition from running to running in their sport. Soccer, football, rugby, but hockey. No, hockey is a different beast. Athletes would gain the ability to fly.
Bobby Orr, behind the net to Sanderson, Orr! Bobby Orr!
4,000 years ago, the Scandinavians realized that bones have the ability to melt ice due to their fat content. Strap those to your feet, and we have the first skates known to man. And although simple, this transportation breakthrough would change the world forever. In the 13th century, skates would see a major upgrade: rugged steel blades. In 1850, E.W. Bushnell, based out of Philadelphia, would begin manufacturing the first modern-day resemblance of a skate. In 1863, the Star Acme self-fastening skates would be launched in Nova Scotia, further boosting the popularity of ice skating. Not only that, instead of a flat steel blade, they would add a prominent curve, which allowed for tighter turns, longer strides, and control. In 1899, CCM would enter their horse into the race, and by 1904, you could find CCM skates all over Toronto. All of a sudden, it was far easier, more accessible to purchase and try out skating, especially for those who lived in northern states and provinces who desperately needed a sport to help pass the time in the harsh winters. In 1898, we would see the first known recorded hockey game. Skating techniques were in their primitive form. The skates at the time had little to no ankle support, leading to short, quick strides, a trend that would last for the next few decades. But with this newfound passion for the sport of hockey would quickly lead to the formation of the NHL in 1907. And around this time, skating was more so about the ability to maintain forward momentum. And based on historical data and footage, NHL players around this time were skating about as fast as you can run. So, approximately 7 miles per hour. It wasn't that players couldn't skate faster, the technology and playstyle did not emphasize blazing speed. In the 1930s, Power would release the Supreme Skates, the first skate that was a one-piece boot, revolutionizing the sport, as this increased ankle support would allow for longer, powerful strides. And as the sport of hockey continued to grow to new levels, elite athletes would start to pop up. Sil Apps would gain prominence from his skating. Maurice Richard would be given the name the Rocket, based on his relentless speed and tenacity. In the 1960s, Bobby Orr would cause a paradigm shift in the NHL. Wait, what? You can skate that fast? As this speed would allow him to dominate on the blue line at a never-before-seen level. He was a spectacle who not only changed how people perceived defensemen, no, Bobby Orr changed the way people viewed the entire sport of hockey, as he would revolutionize the limits of skating, which would inevitably inspire the next generation of hockey phenoms. However, because of the limited tracking technology, the fastest skater was based on the eye test. It was clear that Bobby Orr was head and shoulders above the competition, but because of the inability to track speeds, the hockey world would not be able to claim the first legitimate fastest skater. That was until 1990. The NHL would unveil the first All-Star Skills competition, an event where the top stars in the game go head-to-head, where finally the hockey world can claim its fastest skater. And it would happen. Mike Gartner would clock in with an unbelievable 28.1 mile per hour top speed. For us Canadians, 45 kilometers per hour. Long gone were the days of limited technology and ankle support. NHL players could fly. But here's the thing, this first competition was based on top speed, but considering that all of the competitors had a stick in their hand, which will get registered before their body, all of these numbers are unreliable. Good job, NHL. It only took you 83 years to make this competition, and somehow the idea of the stick hitting the radar first didn't come to mind. In 1991, they would kibosh the idea and introduce a 4-player race, where they would line up at one end, race to the other side, where Paul Coffey would win. However, this event would also be kiboshed. And in 1992, the NHL would introduce the fastest lap as we know it today, where you start at center ice, the clock starts when you take your first step, you take a lap with the rink, ending where you first started. Where finally, we have a competition that can produce reliable results. Thus, we would see a dramatic head-to-head matchup. Actually, no, Mike Gartner would not make the All-Star team that season, leaving it to Sergei Fedorov, who would blow the doors off the competition as he would win, setting the NHL record with a 14.363 second lap. The next season, Mike Gartner, who was snubbed the year prior, would take his first run at claiming the NHL's fastest skater. And the man would not disappoint, as Mike Gartner would put Fedorov's record to shame.
Good race. 13.5 for Gartner, and he's won the event.
Breaking the 14-second barrier with a 13.51 second lap. And keep in mind, a 0.8 second improvement may not seem like a lot. In fact, here's some perspective. Right here, we have a 1 second difference. The amount of separation a fast skater can provide is the difference between going on a breakaway, getting shut down by the defense. In 1996, it would happen. Mike Gartner would post a 13.386 second lap, setting the newest fastest skater world record. And what is absurd about this record? Mike Gartner was 36. The fact that this man was setting records at the tail end of his career is incredible. If he was 25, maybe he breaks the 13-second barrier, because Mike Gartner's record would be seen as untouchable. In fact, his record would stand for 2 decades. Scott Niedermayer would come close, Peter Bondra, Sami Kapanen, but no, just as we view Chara's hardest shot record, Mike Gartner's time was untouchable until the incident. When Connor McDavid was drafted, he was seen as a gifted skater, and for good reason. The pure power behind his stride, the top speed, on top of an uncanny ability to maintain control of the puck, was nothing short of generational. The fastest skater title was meant for McDavid. However, in his rookie season, he would get injured. Therefore, would not make it to the 2016 All-Star game, where, my God, it would happen. Dylan Larkin, after a 20-year drought, would shatter Mike Gartner's fastest lap record, as he would post an unbelievable 13.172 second lap, where we would see the newest fastest skater crowned. But did you notice that? I'll play it again.
And here we go.
We'll get back to this. In 2017, finally, the hockey world gets to see Connor McDavid's attempt at breaking the world record. And McDavid would break Mike Gartner's record with a 13.3 second lap, winning the competition by a landslide. But this is when the drama would start. Dylan Larkin, during his attempt in 2016, would be instructed to start at the blue line and not at center ice. The clock starts when he hits center ice. Larkin would get a head start, therefore a false start, which should have disqualified his time, but no, it was still counted. So even though Connor McDavid broke Mike Gartner's record, he's still technically second. The NHL, clearly wanting a headline, wouldn't even acknowledge the false start. What is going on? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but come on, where is the integrity? Dylan Larkin would even tweet acknowledging the head start. But whatever, McDavid won that year, he would win in 2018, in 2019, he would win his 3rd straight, but we would see another incident.
Here's Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars.
Miro Heiskanen would pick up speed behind the net, where he would catch an edge, causing him to slam into the boards. Cale Makar would also fall, which makes me think players are definitely not going to go full speed, knowing that they could end their career in a skills competition. In 2020, Matt Barzal would do the unthinkable.
Connor McDavid has certainly been laid down. He's flying. He is really flying. Matthew Barzal of the Islanders goes into first place,
as he would skate a 13.175 second lap, as he would shatter both McDavid and Larkin's record. And there we have it. Still apps, Maurice Richard dominate the speed game back in the early days. Bobby Orr would revolutionize the sport. Mike Gartner was the fastest skater king of the 90s and 2000s. Larkin would claim the record on a controversial false start. Connor McDavid would technically claim the title. And today, Matt Barzal is officially NHL's fastest skater. But But here's the thing, in the early days, because of technology, we would see exponential leaps in the top speed of an NHL player. But from the 80s, 90s, heading to modern day, we haven't seen that same leap. However, we are talking about top speed. The overall speed of today's game has seen a massive leap. And to give you some perspective, if we look back, yes, their speed is impressive, especially the ones who were gifted, but these players skated like a bull in a china shop. Once they started to gain momentum, they were praying that they would maintain control over the puck. In most plays, blazing speed was uncontrollable speed, which would lead to turnovers. Whereas, if we look at where skating has evolved in the modern day, 99.99% of players are good skaters. In today's game, what separates the best skaters is their ability to maintain near perfect control while barreling down the ice at 50 kilometers per hour. This is the epitome of Connor McDavid's game, as not only is his straight line speed among the all-time greats, but his puck control, it doesn't even make sense. Imagine sprinting, juggling, while trying to maintain vision on the ice. Players like McDavid were born with the brain to compute hockey. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're a fan of hockey cards, go check out my custom packs down below. The Vancouver Canucks collection box with this massive Elias Pettersson chase is still in stock. And as always, thanks for watching.